Start by turning your Super Chexx game off by using the power button located on the back of the unit. Unplug the unit from the wall. Using the supplied T-handle, remove the 4 bolts that attach the top to the base. Once the 4 bolts have been removed, find an object of similar size to the base and position it next to the game. With assistance, lift the top, balance it half on the base and half on the object, being careful not to damage the harnessing that connects the base to the top. Now that you have access to the main board, use your finger and slide the SD card towards the power supply. You will hear a click unlocking the SD card from the socket. Slide the SD card away from the power supply to remove it from the game. Once the SD card has been removed, realign the card with the socket and use your finger to slide the card towards the power supply. You will hear the click from the socket confirming that the SD card is locked in place. With the help of another person, lift the top and place it on the base. Be careful not to pinch the wires between the top and the base. When installing the base to cabinet bolts, use your fingers to start the threads on the bolt. There should be minimal resistance when turning. If you feel resistance, you are cross-threading the bolt, which can damage the game. Once the bolt is inserted and the threads have been started, use the T-handle to complete the installation. The bolts do not need to be over-tightened to secure the top and the base. To reseat the SD cards located inside of the Jumbotron, use the 5/16 Allen wrench from the parts kit to remove the dome bolts holding the dome in place. Using the 5/32 Allen wrench from the parts kit, loosen the bolt that holds the scorehead in place. Lift the dome, secure the scorehead using your hand, and continue to loosen the screw that holds the scorehead to the dome. Be careful not to drop the scorehead. Once the scorehead has been removed, using a T15 Torx bit, remove the 4 screws that hold the lid of the Jumbotron in place. Once the 4 screws have been removed, Open the Jumbotron by removing the cap and set the cap aside. Using your finger, slide the SD card towards the top of the Jumbotron. You will hear a click from the socket, unlocking it, allowing it to be removed. To reinstall the card, align the card in the socket, slide towards the top of the Jumbotron, ensuring that you hear the click, confirming that the card has been locked into place. After reseating the SD card, rotate the Jumbotron to the other side and repeat the process on the secondary display. After both SD cards have been reseated, reassemble the Jumbotron. Once the Jumbotron has been reassembled, lift the dome and insert the Jumbotron. Make sure to align the ribbon cable connector with the ribbon cable on the dome. Hold the Jumbotron in place. Start the screw by hand, being careful not to cross-thread the bolt. Then, use the Allen wrench to tighten the bolt, making sure the Jumbotron is straight. Once the Jumbotron is secured, using the dome support cable from the game's parts package, lift the dome and place the S-hook through one of the holes in the dome and use the loop around one of the player handles to support the weight of the dome as it's lifted. You can now plug the ribbon cable into the Jumbotron. After plugging in the ribbon cable, close the dome, remove the dome support cable, and reinstall the dome bolts.